Today we're going to be watching a lesson by Mrs. Merani's 6th grade humanities class. They've been reviewing the parts of speech and looking at how words fit together to form sentences that we understand. The Jabberwocky by Lewis Carroll is a poem comprised of no-nonsense words. We read the Jabberwocky out loud to see if the students could understand the poem even with the no-nonsense words to show how much they rely on their knowledge of parts of speech and how words fit together.
This poem is the Jabberwocky by Lewis Carroll. 'Twas brillig, and the slithy toves did gyre and gimble in the wave. All mimsy were the borogoves, and the mome raths outgrave. Beware the Jabberwock, my son, the jaws that bite, the claws that catch. Beware the Jubjub bird, and shun the frumious Bandersnatch. He took his vorpal sword in hand, long time the manxome foe he sought. So rested he by the tumtum tree, and stood a while in thought. And as in uffish thought he stood, the Jabberwock, with eyes of flame, came whiffling through the tulgey wood, and burbled as it came. 1, 2, 1, 2, and through the vorpal blade went snicker-snack. He left it dead, and with its head he went galumphing back. And hast thou slain the Jabberwock? Come to my arms, my beamish boy. O frabjous Callooh, Calais, he chortled in his joy. 'Twas brillig, and the slithy toves did gyre and gimble in the wave. All mimsy were the borogoves, and the mome raths outgrave. So, before saying anything to anybody, I'm going to tell you right now that there are some words in this poem that you will not know, and there's a reason why. It's because they're nonsense words. However, with your knowledge of how sentences are put together, you probably were able to visualize what happened in this poem and what this Jabberwocky might look like. So right now I'm going to ask that you take about 3 minutes in Notability on your iPad to draw what you imagine this Jabberwocky might look like. All right? There are some things that you are going to rely on in order to draw the Jabberwocky. All right? I've got the poem up here if you want to look at it, but I'm going to ask that you don't download it just yet from that.
I don't even understand it.
Good. But did you visualize something in your mind?
Yeah.
Good. I want you to draw that. Take 2 minutes right now and go ahead and draw what you imagine this Jabberwocky might look like. Go ahead. I want you to do it in Notability. Come on, it's fun. Let me read it one more time while you're drawing. 'Twas brillig, and the slithy toves did gyre and gimble in the wave. All mimsy were the borogoves, and the mome raths outgrave. Beware the Jabberwock, my son, the jaws that bite, the claws that catch. Beware the Jubjub bird, and shun the frumious Bandersnatch. He took his vorpal sword in hand, he sought. So rested he by the tumtum tree, and stood a while in thought. And as in uffish thought he stood, the Jabberwock with eyes of flame came whiffling through the tulgey wood, and burbled as it came. 1, 2, 1, 2, and through the vorpal blade went snicker-snack. He left it dead, and with its head he went galumphing back. And hast thou slain the Jabberwock? Come to my arms, my beamish boy.
Students use their knowledge on the parts of speech to help understand what their Jabberwocky would look like. Here's the students working on their Jabberwockies.
All mimsy were the borogoves, and the mome raths outgrave. So rely on your imagination, and rely on what you heard in the poem, or how you might translate this poem, to draw what you imagine that Jabberwocky might look like. I'll give you a couple more minutes.
When the students finished their picture of their Jabberwocky, they then got a copy of the poem in which they color-coded the no-nonsense words based on their parts of speech to translate the poem. Then they rewrote the Jabberwocky as a Mad Lib for the students to write their own version of this poem. It was a fun way to manipulate language and to review grammar concepts while using the iPad.